Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. In fact, let's just get it like this. Welcome back, man. Let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed to the dope content and all that, man. You know what? This shit's crazy. It's weighing heavy on my mind. And so fuck the shenanigans and all the tomfoolery. That's what they call it, right? Let's just get straight to the business. There's an elephant in the room. In my room, Charlie, right? There ain't nothing but Chucky wearing a chain in my room. But there's an elephant in Southern California right now. There's a lot of people talking about a certain situation, right? And man, I didn't sleep well last night. I debated. What are you going to say? How are you going to do a video? Because there's no right answer. I can't win in this situation. You know, there's situations in life you just cannot win. No matter what you say, people are going to feel however they feel. I have so many haters on these YouTube streets, right? That people are going to misconstrue the direction I'm going. Oh, you're backing this Vatos play or you're backing that Vatos play. And it's crazy. And one thing as a content creator, and I stand on it as Gunners Collective, I'm not going to be bullied or pushed into doing content just because that's what you want, right? I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I have to stand on that. And that's the truth. Now, last night, near midnight, it was about midnight. I'm chilling, man. I'm watching Game of Thrones, right? Just doing my thing. And there's been a lot of birds chirping, a lot of chatter, right? A lot of people asking questions about a particular situation, which we're going to discuss right now, the elephant in the room. And it has to do with Marvelous Minds, Marvelous Inc., Marvelous, right? Someone who I interviewed about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. And that was that. That was about the extent of our association. You know, we got in contact with each other through a mutual acquaintance. I was able to interview him and get some of that clecha, that Maravilla clecha, and that Southern California clecha. And it was a very good interview. It was educational. And that was about that. After that, man, there wasn't too much conversations going on between us. There was none of that. It was just, hey, gracias, right? And we kept it pushing. Now, you got to understand, man, I'm 1,000 miles away from LA. So it wasn't like we're going out having crumpets and tea. My life wasn't a movie like Wes Watson meeting up at bagel shops with Diddy. Okay, there was none of that. It was just, hey, I appreciate the interview. Now let me do a push. So last night about midnight, man, I it's crazy because look at the thumbnail. Okay, there's a comment there that was left with a $50 super thanks. Blew my mind from American Cholo, Gil. Gracias, Gil, first and foremost. You didn't have to do that. I know you have a family, man, and they should be the ones first and foremost on your mind when it comes to a money situation. But if you got it like that, hey, gracias. Now, for those of you that don't know the history between myself and Gilbert, I call him Gilbert, right? Gil, there's no love lost there. We've never been friends. We've never even been really associates. If anything, we've been kind of adversaries, or that's the way I felt on the YouTube situation platform, right? We just never seen eye to eye, and there's a lot of water under that bridge. But I've expressed several times that when it comes to Gil, right? He's in his own lane. I'm in my own lane, man, and I'm going to respect it and not sit here and beat a dead horse, right? And drag a dog through the mud. It's not what I do. So I kind of let the situation with me and him or any animosity go a long time ago. I'm a grown man, worried about my family. I'm sure he feels the same way. And that's that. So when Gil retired from YouTube the other day or a couple weeks ago, I did a video saying, wow, people asked me, what do you think about it? And I said, hey, you know, maybe he had other shit going on. This shit does get tiring sometimes. Sometimes you're not meeting the goals or the expectations you expect to meet. And it is what it is, right? I see subsequently since then, he's came back. The Vato came back and he has a different lane. You know, he's speaking politics and he's going for what he knows. I respect it. I haven't sat down and watched one of his videos yet. I'm sure I will get around to it. But I see him. Okay. Now, there's a big elephant in Southern California going on right now, a big elephant in the room. And that's this whole situation with Marvelous, right? Now, I'm getting asked over and over again. And as you see by that thumbnail, even Gil sent a little $50 super chat saying, basically, I see what he's saying. Why aren't you speaking on this situation? Well, first and foremost, here's a PSA. I'm going to speak on what I want to speak on in my time. This is my time. I do what I want to do. And before I just jump to conclusions, Gil, and you know better than anyone else, before I just jump to conclusions like I've done in the past, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to see what everybody fucking else has to say. Because if I didn't break the news, then I'm not breaking the back of the news, right? This is a situation where there's family involved, where there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of he said, she said that he said, that she lied, that he said, right? There's a lot going on. So in order for me to do my due diligence and my vetting and my homework, right, respectfully, from someone who I fucking showed me nothing but class and respect in the past, I felt it only righteous before I fucking stick my fucking pata in my mouth to sit back and see what everyone else to say. But I could see Gil shooting me a little $50 super chat like, hey, homie, speak on it. That's his way of saying, hey, we want to hear what you got to say. Either that or it's his way of saying, oh, all of a sudden you don't want to talk about certain things. It's none of my business, first and foremost, right? I can talk about what the fuck ever I want to talk about. It's my platform, right? I'm for the betterment of the people. That's it. And in a situation 1,000 miles away from me in Southern California, there's enough people speaking on it. Why should my information or my input matter? You know, it's not like me and Marvelous were the best of friends or the worst of friends or friends even at all. We did an interview together, and that was about it, right? But here's my take. You know, again, I'm not going to be pushed into doing any content I don't want to do. And I woke up this morning thinking, how am I going to decipher all this, and how am I going to make a bad situation sway my way without hurting anybody's feelings or making these haters and these trolls misconstrue my words and say, oh, he's backing this guy or he's backing that guy. I'm not backing anyone in this situation. There's a right in a situation and there's a wrong. There's three sides to every story. His side, her side, and the truth, right? There's always going to be that. There's always going to be tapatio put on stories. There's always going to be individuals that no matter what you do or what you say, they hate you anyway. So they're going to find a way to pick at any little thing you say. Here's my thing with this. You know, when I was brought aware to the allegations of Marvelous, I said, wow, you know, this is someone who I've watched just like everyone else on YouTube for years. I've seen a lot of his interviews. I've seen his shows on Rodham Radio with Tony A. And, you know, I've listened to his sketch on his education and his idealisms. And although I don't agree with everything, you know, there's no denying that the vato is sketchad up when it comes to the culture, right? So who wouldn't sit back and listen to Marvelous and what he has to say? Now, at the same time, you know, I didn't know this man from a bowl of fucking of crusty ravioli, right? I did. But I knew enough to know that some of the things that he was saying were true as far as the culture and just listening to, you know, the way his philosophies and the way he thought. You know, it showed me someone who's been incarcerated, someone who studied, someone who read, someone who was well-versed and educated himself. And those are the type of people that I enjoy listening to, people that are educating the raza and people that educate themselves. There's no denying that. So I was astounded and flabbergasted and baffled when all of a sudden I seen a video, and I'm not going to say all of a sudden because I just barely watched a portion of the video last night. I couldn't sit there and listen to the whole video, stomach the whole video, or not even, it wasn't that interesting to me, right? But let's be real. There was a video put out by Marvelous himself, and there's been some allegations going around. It seems like he's caught up in a family dispute. Now, first and foremost, respect to his familia. And we're going to talk about his sons here because I heard something last night on the Haters World, man, that fucking made me asco. I could not believe, you know, a man's kids would act that way. I understand, man. My father didn't raise me either like that. I was in and out of his life. He was in and out of my life. I never held that against him. I still love my father to his dying day. We didn't get along. We didn't agree on everything. He wasn't happy the way my life turned out. I definitely wasn't happy the direction he took that led me to the life that I led. But I accept responsibility for my choices. And although we didn't have a great fucking hugging up relationship, still my father, and I still fucking respect him. And these kids nowadays just don't have no respect for any elders, for any veteranos, any OGs, for anybody. They're in their own la la land, in their own world, homie, and they're gonna see how that shit turns out. But anyways, so when I heard about this Marvelous stuff, I immediately started talking to people, tripping out on it. And to be honest with you, I have no opinion in this situation. Now, I've been an advocate for a very, very long time that anyone with any weird cases or anything like that, I can't fuck with them, right? I've said it. I'm going to stand on that. Okay? Was Marvelous criminally charged in this one? No. Did he self-admit to something, to making a mistake and doing something out of the ordinary? Yes, absolutely, right? And did I immediately pick up the phone? Hey, Marvelous. No, I don't even got his number, right? And he doesn't have mine. The vault, and he did at once upon a time, but he changes his number just like I changed my number. Like I said, it's been a very, very long time since we had correspondence like that. You know, this is a thin line between love and hate. This is a thin line to walk, to talk about, right? Because there's people like, Holmes, what do you think? You backed that fucking dude up. First of all, I'm not going to talk shit about him because the story I heard, there's a lot of holes to be filled. And before them holes are filled up, then I think people should hold their fucking tongue rather than judging someone they don't even know. Am I backing this play? No. Again, that's not what I'm here to do at all. You know, regardless of if you were lied to, regardless of anything, you know, a situation happened that is not good. You know, if you got played by a chick, that's unfortunate, man. I've had homeboys been through the same things. I don't fuck with them no more, right? I'm not going to sit here and slander a man's name, though, just because the haters or the people that don't like him already, even before this, are all fucking sparked and happy now because they feel they got some dirt on someone. You know, people make mistakes. People, I mean, I'm not saying condoning that these are the type of mistakes that can be made and forgiven, right? Not at all. Don't fuck that up, right? But people do things in their life and will come back to haunt them. And, you know, when people are going in on you, when you're a social media, you have a social media platform, or you're a lightweight YouTube celebrity, or people know who you are, there's going to be those people that are quick to judge, people that are going in on you. And then there's going to be those that, like myself, that just want to say, you know what? This is fucking none of my business. Once it starts involving familia and your kids and your old ladies and all that, and there's children involved, you know, because that everyone's glossing over that fact. We're going to get to that right now. It's kind of a tricky situation. It's still new to the airwaves. Like, what can I say? I wasn't there. I don't know any more details about this situation than he's already put out there. Speaking for myself, I'm going to distance myself from the whole situation and from everyone involved. Why? Because I don't want to be involved or have nothing to do with it. It doesn't involve me. First of all, I'm going to play north-south right now. I'm from Northern California. I don't want nothing to do with that, right? And I live in Washington, so I'm gone. But no, to be honest with you and totally real, I listened to the Haters World last night. And this Vato brought on Marvelous's kids, right? His sons. Now, I listened to it in its entirety, and his sons, man, they went in. They're feeling some type of way about their father. And that's why I addressed my situation with my father. The disrespect there was crazy, right? And I can get into, you know, Vato saying the N-word and cuz and talk about how black dudes, he was around more black dudes than his own father. I mean, to me, it felt like an emptiness there. Like, man, you wanted your father to be in your life, and you're upset because he wasn't, right? And so now this situation, you're just gonna just go in, and it was a trip to me to see Blue Devil sit there smiling like a fucking cat, right? Like Garfield, you know, with the plate of lasagna in front of him and asking these questions. I understand he was just trying to do what he's doing, but at the same time, man, he was trying to make the situation worse. What gives you the audacity to bring someone's children on and exploit them like that? Even though they're adults now, still, man, that's a little too close for comfort. There has to be some types of rules and regulations in the game, right? But I guess, man, if Serena Williams can crip walk at the Super Bowl, anyone could do anything, right? It's crazy. Okay, but to give you guys the hot take on what I feel personally about this situation, I feel is fucked up, and it makes everything that's going on YouTube concerning the raza look bad right now. You know, there's always drama. There's always back and forth. And I've been a part of that drama in the past. I'm not going to sit here and lie and bullshit you guys. I've changed. I've gotten away from that. I've tried to, at least, right? Sometimes I might say fuck you when a hater says something on a live or something. But, I'm going to stand my ground as a man. You can only take so much. But all this shit going on right now, everyone, oh man, how do you feel? What do you think? Is this fool this or is that? Hey, man, to each their own. Everyone has a responsibility to themselves to act accordingly and talk about what they want to talk about, feel how they want to feel. It's a very tricky situation. We're talking about a man's life. We're talking about a woman's life. And what everybody seems to be glossing over the fact is that there's a baby involved here. There's a child. Okay, there was a child made out of this chaos. And that child, that's the father of that child. That's the mother of that child. And people are throwing everyone under the bus and judging people and making assumptions and doing all this. And no one's talking about the kid, man, and how this kid is in a more tricky situation than anyone. How another kid was born to brown people, man, without a father or a mother that's a manipulator or, just so many different things. And it's unfortunate, man, that this kid has to be born into a broken household. It's crazy. How many of us went through broken households, man? And now we sit here and talk shit. Not me, myself, but other people talk shit and laugh and clown about another broken household instead of, trying to help a situation and saying, hey, you know what? Fuck, shit's crazy, man. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a done deal now. Whether you choose to associate with this cat or not is totally up to you. I'll tell you guys real, you know what I mean? I don't hate anyone in this situation, but my association from it is distant. I'm good. Because no matter what, me being a social media platform, especially brown, I got my haters. I got enough haters already, man. There's no right or wrong answer here. I'm not backing Marvelous's play, and I'm not going in on Marvelous, and I'm not a bad person because I choose not to go in on them. I choose not to go in on them. That's just how I feel, right? That's it. Doesn't mean I'm backing him in this situation. It means I don't want nothing to do with this situation. But as far as involving his children and bringing them on podcasts and clowning and letting them call their father a bitch and a chomo and a rat and just disrespecting his barrio, and that right there is very, very manipulative and petty, man. Very petty. And, hey, God hates ugly. And that was a very ugly situation. It's an elephant in the room because there's never no justifying a man and a kid sleeping together. To me, there isn't, right? Now, with that said, okay, I'm trying to figure out my words right so motherfuckers don't take it and flip it. With that being said, from what I've heard so far, and what I've listened to with my own two fucking big old ears, right? This was a disaster from the beginning. This was a girl that manipulated a man. And you know what? In the game of manipulation, it's not just one-sided. You have to be able to decipher the bullshit and to say, hey, I don't care. Look, even if someone lies to me, is like, hey, I'm this. I need the black light to check the ID. I need a lot of things, But we weren't there. I wasn't the cucaracha on the wall. I don't know what exactly happened. I know what the chick said. I know what Marv said. But again, who am I to sit here and say, oh man, well, you ain't right because look at. It's never right to be with a minor. It's not. We know that. Okay. But there's a lot of people that are playing favoritism here. Let's just get to it. A lot of the people that are talking shit about Marvel, a lot of people that didn't like him anyways, whether this was the facts or not. They just didn't like him anyways. But the same people that sit there will sit down with fucking Adam 16 that self-admitted he was talking to 16-year-olds in Canada. But it's legal there, right? And then sit here and talk about, oh, Marvin, this situation. You know what? Look it. People making up names, calling them. I don't know, man. My take is I don't know. I don't know enough or have seen enough. Again, what do people always say? There ain't no paperwork. There's no charge. I've not seen no paperwork. I don't know. I'm not justifying what he did at all. If he slept with the minor, he's going to reap what he sows. People are going to feel some type of way. All I'm saying is, hey, I'm not going to be told or bullied into talking about a man or disrespecting a man that has never disrespected me, that I once, that I associated with on that level, that we were cool. It's fucked up. Don't get it twisted, man. This is a bad, tricky situation here, and no one's a winner. But for his children, his own kids that are sitting here going in on their father, whether he was in your life or not, he's still got the same sangre as you, the blood. And you're choosing up with the guy who's disrespected your families on so many levels and disrespected your father and disrespected his legacy and disrespected everything. Now, I understand all that goes out the window if this vato was out there fucking doing bad, deviant stuff to women. But do you honestly in your heart believe he was out there doing that? Or do you believe that this is a situation of manipulation or whatever? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know enough I haven't done my homework enough to know what's going on, but I know a lot of people keep asking me about it, and that's the reason why I'm addressing it. I will never disrespect someone for nothing. Let's just say that, right? And as far as Gil, American Cholo, leaving that comment that he did, you guys can see on the thumbnail, like, oh, this is content, is it not? Everything is content, bro. But not all content is good content. That's just my thing. You're not going to sit here and try to fucking put me in a bind like, oh, he's backing up this dude. Oh, he doesn't want to speak on it because fucking, bro, I haven't talked to Marvelous in a year. What does that have to do with anything? I'm going to talk about what the fuck I want to talk about when I want to do it, or I'm not. And this is a real life situation. This is a situation of domestic issues, family battling family. Do you honestly think in your right mind his sons are not never going to reconcile with their dad? Come on now, stop it. We all know, right? And then what? What does that make them? A condoner? Look, to me, it's not no motherfucking butter on my toast anyways, because it's not like I'm sitting here on podcasts kicking it like that with Marvis. I interviewed him. He treated me with respect. I treated him with respect, and whatever he's got going on, I hope it gets all figured out, however it gets figured out, man. But this is the last time I got anything to say about it. And for those that are like, Gun, you won't speak on, I'll speak on whatever the fuck I want. But at the end of the day, all money's not good money, man. Is it a bad situation? Fuck yeah, it's bad. Anytime minors are involved at any level, whether you were manipulated, tricked, anything like that, it's bad. But I'm not going to be the one to push that on him because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. As far as what that chick is saying, and people are saying, oh, she was reading cue cards and this and that. I haven't watched enough of the video to see all that. But one thing I can tell you is for sure, man, it's fucked up. And now you have vatos on the outside saying, look, these fucking Mexicans, all they do is it's just drama. Is it fucking a crazy situation? It really is. But it's a situation, man. I think we need to, before we fucking voice our opinion, we need to think, are you ready and willing to ruin a whole family just because they're imploding? Do you want to add to that? I don't. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Again, I say this to you. I'm not backing anyone's play. I'm not backing Marvelous. I'm not disrespecting Marvelous. I'm just saying this shit is none of my business, and I'm the fuck up out of it. The gun.